Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the processional? You may be seated, and good evening. For the 397th time, candidates for baccalaureate and associate degrees from the Pennsylvania State University have gathered to celebrate their commencement. This evening, we are conducting commencement exercises for the College of Arts and Architecture, the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences, the College of Nursing, and the Eberly College of Science. All are in their places. The ceremony is hereby called to order.
On behalf of the entire Penn State student body, welcome to our 2021 spring commencement. My name is Crystal Rose Daum, and I'm a senior in the College of Arts and Architecture. Please rise for the national anthem performed by Joy Bohannon, who is studying voice in the Penn State School of Music.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting
Thank you. You may be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce Penn State President Eric Barron.
Thank you, and good evening to our Penn State graduates and their families and friends. I'm thrilled to welcome you in person and in our live stream, and on our live stream, to our Spring 2021 commencement ceremony. The commencement ceremony is of great importance. It's patterned after a ritual which has been repeated through the long history of higher education and duplicated throughout the world wherever there are universities and colleges. The mace is a symbol of the university and was carved from the first knoll in Old Main. Commencement is steeped in history, but the spirit of commencement is modern and always changing. Some of your parents or friends and relatives may remember graduating in Beaver Stadium in the early 1980s. Others graduated in the unair-conditioned Rec Hall. In recent years, our graduates gathered in Eisenhower Auditorium, the Pagula Ice Arena, and the Bryce Jordan Center. Last year, your siblings and friends would have marked this moment during a virtual ceremony at home. Although the venues change, the meaning has not, and in every case, the commencement ceremony was unique, and our graduates have always made it their own. Most importantly, commencement is a symbol of the outstanding achievements that have brought you to this day. Today is your moment. You are entering a world like no other, one that has been changed by a global pandemic, as well as a movement to make our communities safe, diverse, and inclusive. I hope you will consider how you can contribute to building a better world. As Penn State graduates, you have resilience, creativity, intelligence, and maturity. These skills will serve you well as you embark on a future that is full of promise. I'm so pleased to have shared this time with you and watched you grow as scholars and as global citizens. As you move forward, we hope you'll take with you many wonderful memories from your time at Penn State. Whether you were on Zoom, in the classroom, in the lab, or parking lots, all of you discovered that learning takes you to new places. And you discovered that you can overcome anything, even a global pandemic, if you work together. I'm very proud of your concern for one another, and I wish to congratulate the class of 2021 for voting to create the Student Access and Equity Fund as your class gift. On behalf of all of the future students who will benefit from this gift, I thank you. It has been an honor teaching and learning with you. Your contributions have moved our institution forward. I hope you'll always remember the good times, how to see the world in new ways, and what it feels like to be part of something bigger than yourself. And now, some members of the class of 2021 have a few memories to share.
I started off as an undecided person in the Division of Undergraduate Studies, and then from there never really declared, but threw around probably 4 or 5 ideas until I finally settled on biobehavioral health.
Actually, I didn't change my major. However, I added one major and switched my focus. I started with earth sciences, and later I added energy business and finance as my second major.
From the moment I stepped foot into the College of Education, I knew that I wanted to major in early childhood and elementary education, and I've learned that teaching is not just a career for me, but is the place where I feel most alive.
My favorite class is Communication 496. That's the independent study. The whole class had only 2 students, and we had a lot of autonomy working on our copywriting portfolio.
International Relations Theory.
Com 419. It was about world communications in South Africa.
There were definitely some interesting ones, but I would have to say Principles of Immunology. I took it in the spring of 2020 with Dr. Adrian Dacey, and I was really excited to take the class all through my undergraduate career. but having the opportunity to learn about immunological concepts while there was a pandemic going on outside, I feel like was really impactful to me.
My favorite extracurricular activity was definitely club soccer. I got to go on so many great trips. I met some amazing friends, some of my best friends.
Definitely the College of Education Student Council for undergraduate students.
I love the World Campus Tech Club.
I really enjoyed going on alternative spring break. It's when we spend the whole spring break offering community services to different cities.
Participating in the Penn State Black Caucus and putting on our annual award show.
After retiring from the military, I chose Penn State World Campus because not only was I able to pursue my degree at the same time, but I was able to work full time and send the last of my 6 children to college. So,
I think the most surprising thing I learned about myself, good question.
The most surprising thing I learned about myself is that I'm more resilient than I thought. I can really bounce back from difficult situations.
I learned about how much I don't know. Every day I discover something new that I didn't know the day before.
The most surprising thing I learned is that I can make an impact at such a large school.
Time goes much faster than I thought it ever could when you're in Happy Valley.
I don't hate group work.
Maybe how much I could juggle at any given time.
I learned that I can become as confident as I am now.
I plan to work in blood cancer research at Vanderbilt University next year.
My future plans after graduation is to move to the Boston area where my husband will start law school, and I will look for teaching jobs and finish pursuing my license.
My future plans include working in the legislative sector for a while, and then I'll be going to law school.
I just moved to Texas and started as a cyber systems security engineer at Lockheed Martin.
I will be moving to New York City as a management consulting associate at PwC in their deals advisory practice.
I plan to go to grad school for business analytics.
My future plans are finishing a graduate degree in economics and finally pursue a PhD in economics.
I'm going to be pursuing a PhD in educational psychology right after graduation here at Penn State in the College of Education.
If I could sum up my Penn State experience in one word, that word would be meaningful.
I would say impactful.
Self-realization.
Transformational.
Eye-opening.
Phenomenal.
I would say happiness.
Self-discovery.
Amazing.
Life-changing.
Ready.
Bittersweet.
Unrivaled. As cliche as it might be, I think my Penn State experience, and even having grown up in State College, was entirely unrivaled from any other opportunity that I could have had.
Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Titilayo Shodea. Dr. Shodea is currently the Deputy Quality Manager at the National Institute of Standards and Technology in Gaithersburg, Maryland. In this role, she oversees the implementation of the NIST quality management system at all of its locations. This supports the mission to promote U.S. innovation and industrial competitiveness by advancing measurement science, standards, and technology. Throughout her career, Dr. Shodea has been an active mentor and started initiatives to encourage women and underrepresented minorities to pursue STEM degrees and careers. In those efforts, she co-founded Mega Ohm Media, and she co-hosts the critically acclaimed podcast Dope Labs, which discusses how science intersects with pop culture. Dope Labs won the Spotify Sound Up program, where there were over 18,000 applicants, has been nominated for a Weeby Award, and was included in Essence Magazine 2019 Woke 100 list. She has also co-hosted 2 seasons of Dissect, a serialized podcast that analyzes music albums. Dr. Shodea received her bachelor's degree in material science and engineering from Penn State before earning a master's and doctoral degrees from Duke University. She also completed a postdoc at the University of Michigan, which was funded by the Department of Defense and Dow Chemical. We are very pleased she could join us today. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Shodiya.
Thank you, President Barron. I know a lot of you are probably wondering who I am, why I'm standing up here, probably more so the parents and guardians of the graduates. So if anyone asks you, I'm Issa Rae. And if you don't know who that is, I am Oprah Winfrey. My name is Titilayo Shodiya, and I'm the Deputy Quality Manager at the National Institute of Standards and Technology, co-founder of Mega-Owned Media Group, co-host of Dope Labs podcast, a podcast that shows how science intersects with pop culture, a writer, and a multimedia consultant. Congratulations to the class of 2021. That's right. You're getting a degree from one of the most prestigious universities in the world. You've accomplished something that a lot of people have not been able to do. You've had the privilege to start and finish college. Be proud of yourselves, and make sure you thank your support systems, your family, your chosen family and friends that have encouraged you and helped you to get here. I was told to leave you with some words of wisdom, words that will excite and prepare you for your futures in the workforce and beyond. Well, I don't really have that for you. I graduated from Penn State in 2010, so this commencement marks 11 years. If you would have told me 11 and a half years ago that I would be standing on this stage, I would have said, wow, so it took me 11 years to finish. I know my parents are not happy. Nothing has been easy for me, and it probably won't be easy for you as well. Going to work is hard. Going to grad school is hard. Being an entrepreneur is hard, and I know that because I've done all three. So really, I'm here to tell you that life is hard. You'll continue to work hard, just as hard as you did during your time here in State College, and then some. But there's no satisfaction at the end of a passing grade. You just go back to work, whatever that looks like the next day, and the next day, and the next day. But what keeps me motivated and wanting more is my openness to being more than what I am at any given moment. Open to the idea of making an impact on the world in ways that right now I may not be able to see. Open to the idea of being multi-hyphenated. Since I was about 8 or 9 years old, I knew I wanted to be an engineer. I knew I wanted to get a PhD, and I knew I wanted to be a professor. After high school, I struggled and finished undergrad here by the skin of my teeth and became an engineer. Check. Then I went straight to grad school, struggled there, and got a PhD. Check. Then after that, I finished grad school. I started a postdoc at the University of, well, let's just say it's a university in a state that's shaped like a mitten. And it was there that I realized that I didn't want to be a professor anymore. So now what? I was confronted with my own ego. I had been saying out loud for 20 years that I was going to be a professor. That's embarrassing. But then I realized I wasn't trapped by my desire of becoming a professor. I was letting the thought of people possibly laughing at me trap me. So then I said to myself, TT, you're allowed to change your mind. Then I started my job working for the government, but with an entirely new mindset. I don't feel like I wasted my time getting a PhD. I have no regrets about that. The regret that I have is that I was so laser focused on this one thing that I may have missed opportunities that may have let me be more than that. Now my life is about ands, not ors. Like instead of saying, I can be this or that, I say, I can be this and that. Ors are so limiting. Like imagine Superman could only or, faster than a speeding bullet or able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. That's pretty lame. and you aren't going to be able to fight crime the way that you need to. It's inefficient. Honestly, think about all the people that you look up to. None of them are just one thing. There are a few things simultaneously. They may be a singer-songwriter, and an actress, and a designer, and a philanthropist, and most recently, a Grammy Award-winning rapper like Beyonce. They may be a medical doctor and a writer whose work was adapted into an award-winning film, like Uzodinma Iweala with his book Beasts of No Nation. They may be an engineer with a PhD and work for the government and co-host a really popular podcast and is also a writer. That's me. And. I know the pressure of graduating and feeling like you have to do something with your degree. Why else would you pay all this money and spend so much time? But I want to challenge you to find ways to use all of your skills to maximize your impact on the world. Be open to changing your mind about how you want to apply your skills. Nurture your ands so they can grow. Growing your ands means more struggling. That, unfortunately, is the fertilizer. I know what you're thinking. Titi, I have struggled enough. I'm graduating in a panini. I know. You've done the work, you've stayed up late doing homework, you've studied while taking care of your children, or while you're at work, or both. You've accidentally slept through an exam that you pulled an all-nighter for and had to beg your professor to let you take the exam. Or that was just me. That's fine. Never mind. But this is precisely my point. Look at you now. At the end of all of this, at the end of this struggle, now you say, and college graduate from the Pennsylvania State University. Struggling is the precursor for your next and. With struggling comes self-doubt, partly because the way that social media is set up, nobody is broadcasting their failures. The times that they've tried to and failed terribly, and they had to start over. There were times when I thought, maybe grad school isn't for me. Maybe this podcast idea is really dumb. Maybe this new business that I'm trying to start isn't the right one. But right on the other side of each of my doubts was a new and, a new strength, a new level, more ands for me, which led to billboards in LA and New York City, and being asked to co-host 2 seasons of Dissect podcast, and articles in The Atlantic, and in the New York Times, and Essence, and a shout out from Gayle King, a shout out from Michelle Obama, and even a shout out from Missy Elliott. Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, okay? And. Look for spaces where you feel unheard or not represented and find ways to create space for yourself. The wonderful thing about creating space for yourself is that you indirectly create space for other people that are just like you. When me and my best friend from grad school, Zakiya Watley, first started Dope Labs, we had no idea how big it would get, but we just knew it was needed. We knew there needed to be a space for the people most commonly excluded from the scientific community: women, Black people, and other people of color, folks in the LGBTQ+ community, and folks in the disabled community. By making space for our own voices, we made space for people who look and sound like us to feel at home, and a place for people that didn't know we existed to hear us, and everyone in between. We have folks saying, I don't listen to podcasts, but I listen to Dope Labs. I hate science, but I love your show. Your show inspired me to pursue a STEM career or go back to school. You never know the impact you can have when you allow yourself to be you in multiple spaces that you care about. This doesn't mean that you go into a place unqualified and say, hey, I deserve to be here because I want to be here. That's not how that works. What I'm talking about is using your earned skills to transform a space and gain more skills, your ands, along the way. It creates a richer and more diverse world. Some of you may be thinking, all of that sounds good, but what if I don't really have any passions or ideas right now? And to that, I say that's okay. Not everything happens overnight. Not every passion is a viral moment that takes off or something that you wanted to do since you were a little kid. Sometimes it's a slow burn, a little voice in the back of your head, or something in life has to happen before it comes to you. But when it does come to you, do this world a favor and don't doubt yourself. Don't be afraid to be more than who you believe yourself to be right now in this moment. The world needs you and all of your ands. Congratulations to the class of 2021. We are
Thank you, Dr. Shodia. I am pleased to recognize and to present the academic leaders who represent the faculty and have the authority to certify these students for their degrees. As of spring 2021, Penn State has granted more than 890,000 degrees. Will each representative please stand as I call your name and remain standing until all are introduced. Darren Thornton, Interim Associate Dean, Office of Academic Affairs and Outreach, College of Arts and Architecture. Lee Kump, John Leone Dean, College of Earth and Mineral Sciences. Yvette Richardson, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Education, College of Earth and Mineral Sciences. Lori Badzik, Dean, College of Nursing. Raymunda Brown, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Education, College of Nursing. Tracy Langkildit, Vern M. Williman Dean, Eberly College of Science. Christopher Palma, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Students, Eberly College of Science. Thank you, and you may be seated. In addition, I am pleased to introduce our alumni representative, Peter Margiti, Principal of Margiti Architects. Mr. Margiti is responsible for the design and management of all the firm's projects, which include award-winning work for home renovations, historic preservation, and design. He is active in his profession and at Penn State, where he serves as the president of the College of Arts and Architecture Alumni Society. Later in the ceremony, Mr. Margiti will induct our graduates into the Penn State Alumni Association. And now we turn to the awarding of the degrees. The legal corporate body of the Pennsylvania State University is its Board of Trustees. By our charter, this body is given final responsibility for the governance, welfare, and all other interests pertaining to our university. At this time, I call upon Ted Brown, member of the Penn State Board of Trustees, to authorize the conferring of the degrees. Mr. Brown was elected to the Board of Trustees by the alumni effective July 2013. He graduated from Penn State in 1968 with a bachelor's degree in science from the Eberly College of Science. He had a 30-year career with IBM and currently serves as president and CEO of Ketch Consulting, a crisis management disaster recovery planning firm based in State College. He is the only recipient of the Disaster Recovery Institute Consultant of the Year and Lifetime Achievement Awards. As a Penn State student, he was involved with undergraduate student government and the Interfraternity Council, and he served as president of Theta Delta Chi and Parma Nu. We are very pleased that Mr. Brown is with us today.
Congratulations, class of 2021. As you heard Dr. Barron reference when I graduated, it was over 50 years ago that I graduated in Beaver Stadium. By the way, the capacity was about 48,000. We didn't have whiteouts. We didn't have thon. And I'm so old that when I started at Penn State, Joe Paterno was not yet head coach. But I did get to see his first win, and I did get to see his last win here in Beaver Stadium. I'm proud to be a member of a 12-member Penn State alumni family that covers 3 generations. And I'm also proud to be a fraternity member, a Parmeenu member, and a veteran. You're graduating at a time of great uncertainty, but also one filled with great opportunities. Our world needs you now more than ever, and you will be armed with the experience, knowledge, and keen insight that can overcome any obstacle and embrace challenges. You've inspired us and demonstrated the grit and determination that has made Penn State one of the leading universities in the world. Actually, I would like to correct that. The leading university in the world. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want you to know how proud we are of your intelligence, optimism, and willingness to keep moving forward. And as a Penn State graduate, let me be the first to proudly welcome you to our family. Now I turn to my official duty. President Barron, by the authority vested in and approved by the Board of Trustees of the Pennsylvania State University, you are authorized on behalf of the board to confer on each of the candidates the degree earned as certified by the appropriate college faculty and dean. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Brown, for the authorization of degrees for these candidates assembled. Before we proceed to the conferral of degrees, please note that Penn State is now recognizing our graduates who are actively serving, veterans, and graduates of our ROTC programs with special red, white, and blue honor cords for their service and sacrifices. At this time, I would like to ask all graduating military and veteran students who have served our country to please stand. Now, will those in the audience who are veterans or active duty members of the military please also stand? Thank you for your significant service to our nation. You may be seated. Now I wish to begin by recognizing the graduates who have earned meritorious achievement. These are students graduating in the top 12% of their class. Upon completion of the grades for the spring semester, additional names will be added to this list. Diplomas will have the academic achievement noted on the official document. Students who are graduating summa cum laude are wearing blue and white cord. Students who are graduating magna cum laude are wearing a blue cord, and students who are graduating cum laude are wearing a white cord. Please hold your applause until all students in all 3 categories are standing. Will those students graduating summa cum laude please rise and remain standing? Will those students graduating magna cum laude please rise and remain standing? Now, will those students graduating cum laude please rise? Congratulations again, and best wishes for your continuing excellence. Thank you, and you may be seated. We will proceed with the conferral of the degrees to all candidates. Diplomas will be sent in the mail. We have arranged for you to hear your name after this ceremony. Simply visit Penn State's commencement website, click on the live stream to see a list of all the colleges. Visit your college tab, and you will find your name under Our Graduates. But right now, we want to give your family and friends the opportunity to cheer for you as loudly as they wish. So can I ask all of the guests to stand for a minute? Now, on the count of 3, I want you to call out your graduate's name loud enough for us all to hear it. So take a deep breath on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That was absolutely wonderful. Thank you, and you may be seated. And now, for the moment you have been waiting for, the conferral of the degrees. First, I call upon Dean Thornton to preside over the conferring of the degrees for the College of Arts and Architecture.
Thank you, President Barron. Will the candidates for the College of Arts and Architecture please rise? President Barron, Trustee Brown, I am pleased to present these worthy and approved candidates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree you have earned in the College of Arts and Architecture with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. You may now move the tassel on your cap from right to left, and congratulations.
We have also identified one student as representative of the College of Arts and Architecture's class of 2021. The class marshal for the College of Arts and Architecture is Crystal Dom. Crystal majored in theater design and technology and applied French. I offer you my heartiest congratulations on your achievements and best wishes to you, Crystal. I now have the privilege of recognizing the students in each of our departments. The first department student marshal to be recognized has earned the highest GPA of the graduates in their department. To begin, I will ask the department marshal to stand, and then I will ask all students in the department to stand as a group in your representative seats. Representing the Department of Architecture is Student Marshal James Grafe. James, please rise. Now, will all graduates in the Department of Architecture please rise? Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Art History is Student Marshal Pauline Conscience. Pauline, please rise. Now, will all graduates of the Department of Art History please rise? Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Graphic Design is Student Marshal Christy Warren. Christy, please rise. Now, will all graduates in the Department of Graphic Design please rise? Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Integrative Arts program is Student Marshal Natalie Andre. Natalie, please rise. Now will all graduates in the Integrative Arts program please rise? And please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Landscape Architecture is Student Marshal Madison Borsos. Madison, please rise. Now will all graduates in the Department of Landscape Architecture please rise? Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the School of Music is Student Marshal Brianna Wiegand. Brianna, please rise. Now will all graduates in the School of Music please rise? Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the School of Theater is Student Marshal Jasmine Forsberg. Jasmine, please rise. Now will all students in the School of Theater please rise? Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the School of Visual Arts is Student Marshal Cassidy Sullivan. Cassidy, please rise. Now will all graduates in the School of Visual Arts please rise? Please join me in recognizing these students. Thank you. You may be seated. That concludes the recognition of the graduates of the College of Arts and Architecture. I now call on Lee Kump, Dean, College of Earth and Mineral Sciences.
Now, will the candidates from the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences please rise? President Barron, Trustee Brown, I am pleased to present these worthy and approved candidates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree you have earned in the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. You may now move the tassel on your cap from right to left, and congratulations.
All the students here have excelled in one way or another in their academic work and co-curricular activities. All are unique and deserving of great praise. Though we cannot share with you the accomplishments of each graduate, we have identified one student as representative of the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences class of 2021. I am pleased to present Ming Song Chen, the class marshal for the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences. Ming Song double majored in Earth Sciences and Energy, Business, and Finance. I offer you my heartfelt congratulations on your achievements and best wishes to you, Ming Song. In addition, it's a tradition in the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences to honor an outstanding student as the Engineering or Science Honor Marshal. Today, we would like to recognize Madeline Vallier as our Engineering Honor Marshal. Madeline majored in Material Sciences and Engineering. Congratulations, Madeline, on your impressive achievements. Now I'd like to call upon Yvette Richardson, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Education. Yvette?
I have the privilege of recognizing the students in each of our departments. The department student marshals to be recognized have earned the highest GPA of graduates in their department. To begin, I will ask the department marshal to stand, and then I will ask all students in the department to stand as a group in your respective seats. Representing the Department of Energy and Mineral Engineering is Student Marshal Thad Stanley Nozar III. Thad, please rise. Now will all graduates in the Department of Energy and Mineral Engineering please rise. And please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Geography is Student Marshal Hope Elizabeth Bodenschatz. Hope, please rise. Now will all graduates in the Department of Geography please rise. Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you, and you may be seated. Representing the Department of Geosciences is Student Marshal Emily Rose Kiver. Emily, please rise. And now will all graduates in the Department of Geosciences please rise. And please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Material Science and Engineering is Student Marshal Xianqing Li. Xianqing, please rise. Now will all graduates in the Department of Material Science and Engineering please rise. Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you, and you may be seated. Representing the Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science is Student Marshal Kaylin Woods. Kaylin, please rise. Now will all graduates in the Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science please rise. Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. That concludes the recognition of graduates of the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences. I now call on Lori Badzik, Dean for the College of Nursing.
Will the candidates from the College of Nursing please rise? President Barron, Trustee Brown, I am pleased to present these worthy and approved candidates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree you have earned in the College of Nursing with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. You may now move your tassels from right to left, and congratulations.
We have also identified one student as representative of the College of Nursing's class of 2021. The student marshal for the class of Nursing 2021 is Sarah Zarenfar. Congratulations on your achievements and best wishes to you, Sarah. I would like to once again ask all of our College of Nursing graduates to please stand so we can give you another round of applause as we support you as you look forward to caring for our communities. Nursing graduates, please remain standing for a moment. As the Dean of Nursing, I would like to ask your indulgence as I take a moment of personal privilege for nursing. It would be a lost opportunity as a dean and a leader of nursing if I did not recognize that we are in the middle of Nurses Week. Nurses Week will end with Nurses Day on May 12th, Florence Nightingale's birthday. It has also been declared a month for nursing, May, by the American Nurses Association. And this is the second year that the International Council of Nursing has declared it to be the year of the nurse. Would all nurses who are present today please stand with our students and be recognized together? You may be seated. Thank you for that moment of personal privilege. I now call upon Tracy Blankhill, Vern M. Williman Dean, Eberly College of Science.
Will the candidates from the Eberly College of Science please rise? President Barron, Trustee Brown, I am pleased to present these worthy and approved candidates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree that you have earned in the Eberly College of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. You may now move your tassels from right to left, and congratulations.
We have also identified one student as representative of the Eberly College of Science class of 2021. The class marshal for the Eberly College of Science, Mustafa Alam Mimon, who triple majored in astronomy and astrophysics, physics, and math, earning a 4.0 GPA in all three majors. I offer you my heartiest congratulations on your achievements and best wishes to you, Mustafa. I would now like to introduce Christopher Palmer, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Students.
I now have the privilege of recognizing the students in each of our departments. The first department student marshal to be recognized has earned the highest GPA of graduates in their department. To begin, I will ask the department marshal to stand, and then I will ask all students in the department to stand as a group in your respective seats. Representing the Department of Astronomy and Astrophysics are student marshals Catherine Kama for astronomy and Chenyi Liu for planetary science and astronomy. Catherine and Chenyi, please rise. Now, will all graduates in the Department of Astronomy and Astrophysics please rise? Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology are student marshals Rachel Swope for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, Cassidy Prince for Microbiology, Asvini Krishnaprakash for Biotechnology, and Sierra Combs for Forensic Science. Rachel, Cassidy, Asvini, and Sierra, please rise. Now, will all graduates in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology please rise? Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Biology are student marshals Samuel DiMatti and Connor Kerstetter. Samuel and Connor, please rise. Now, will all graduates in the Department of Biology please rise? And thank you for joining me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Chemistry is student marshal Christina Craescu. Christina, please rise. Now will all graduates in the Department of Chemistry please rise? And please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Mathematics is student marshal Leah Hunt. Leah, will you please rise? Now, will all graduates in the Department of Mathematics please rise? And please join me in recognizing those graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Representing the Department of Physics is student marshal Andrew Tamas. Andrew, will you please rise? Now, will all graduates in the Department of Physics please rise? And please join me in recognizing these graduates. And thank you. You can be seated. Representing the Department of Statistics is student marshal Shunqi Zhang for data science and Derek Peter Liang for statistics. Shunqi and Derek, please rise. Now, will all graduates in the Department of Statistics please rise? And please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You can be seated. Representing the science majors in the college are student marshals Johan Jha for pre-medicine and Annie Liu for science. Johan and Annie, will you please rise? Now, will all graduates in the interdisciplinary majors of science and pre-medicine please rise? Please join me in recognizing these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated, and that concludes the recognition of the departments.
As a land-grant institution, we are chartered to offer the opportunity for training in military service, and at Penn State, we have programs in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Will all graduates of the Pennsylvania State University Reserve Officer Training Corps please rise? It is a privilege for me to recognize our graduates of the Reserve Officer Training Corps as officers who will serve in the armed forces of the United States. On behalf of Pennsylvania State University, I congratulate each of you, and you may be seated. With the conferral of the degrees today, each of you now becomes an alumna or alumnus of the Pennsylvania State University. It gives me great pleasure to call upon Peter Margitai, Principal of Margitai Architects. He will induct the new graduates into the Penn State Alumni Association. Mr. Margitai.
Thank you, President Barron. Congratulations, graduates. The Penn State Alumni Association celebrates your success and welcomes you into a proud network of Penn Staters. Your Alumni Association is powered by pride. More than 174,000 alumni and friends like you keep their connection to our world-class university strong through membership in the Penn State Alumni Association. Today, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I'm honored to share our graduation gift to you, a one-year free membership to the Penn State Alumni Association. Free. Your membership will keep you in touch with Penn State and connect you with more than 300 geographically dispersed alumni chapters, interest groups, and college campus societies. No matter where you live, what you studied, or which campus you attended, we have a group that matches your interests. After graduation, once you've settled, reach out to your local Penn State alumni chapter. Your Penn State family will be very happy to hear from you. And in the coming years, when you come back to visit Penn State, we hope you enjoy your time on campus and stop by the Hintz Family Alumni Center at University Park. With that, we would like to ask all the new graduates to please rise. We'd like to ask all the Penn State alumni here today to also please rise. It gives me great pleasure to induct all graduating students of the Pennsylvania State University into the Penn State Alumni Association. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Margitai. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude this ceremony, our students would like to recognize some of the people who have made their education possible.
Whether you're with us in person or watching on the live stream, parents, grandparents, spouses, siblings, other family members, and friends, will you please stand? You have all contributed toward the achievements being celebrated here today. Your sacrifice, understanding, support, and caring have helped us attain our educational goals. This encouragement has been very important and not always easy when you had to share the stresses and strains of our academic programs. We know that you also have worked hard to get to this day. I now ask that the graduates join me in thanking their families and friends for all they have done to support your success at Penn State. Thank you very much. You may be seated.
At the heart of every great university are its faculty and the staff members who support them. Now, will the faculty and staff please stand? Your standards of excellence and commitment to helping us achieve our educational goals have helped prepare us for the real world. On behalf of the class of 2021, thank you for your patience and passion for excellence in teaching and learning. We will never forget you. Please join me in thanking the faculty and staff. Thank you very much. You may be seated.
Now, it would appear that the sun has decided to shine on the class of 2021. Unfortunately, your friends in the College of Liberal Arts tomorrow will not be so lucky. And if any of you know any of your fellow students from the College of Liberal Arts, please help us remind them to watch the web page because the time of commencement will shift if the rain is predicted as it seems to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to conclude our commencement ceremony by thanking you for the We Are spirit that embodies our community. I'm proud of all of you and grateful that you chose to advance your education at Penn State. You will always be a part of the Penn State family, and we wish you health and happiness and success wherever you go. And now we will end our commencement ceremony. We will be led in the singing of the Alma Mater by Joy Bohannon. Will you please stand and remain standing until the academic procession has exited the stadium? The stadium ushers will then direct you to exit the stadium by rows.
For the glory of Old State, for her founder strong and great, for the future that we wait, raise the song, raise
know you want